right?
Yes.
What,
Hold on, let's start again. Today is
Today
May
is
20th,
May
and
20th.
we're here doing the interview of the Continents, and we happen to luck into...
The dynamic concepts and the soul dynamics.
Okay.
Member.
And your last name was?
Baynard, B-A-Y-N-E-R-D. I don't have to spell it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right, Boehner's fine. It's like the Boulevard up here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, which side were you with? Were you with the concepts or the dynamics?
Both.
Okay, but there was, from what Efforts Bethea told me, that he pulled together two groups. One was the concepts and one was the dynamics.
Yes.
Is that pretty much the way it worked?
It was like that. It was first the dynamic concepts with Lonely Weekend,
Right.
and then we changed the name. That's after we changed the name. We made Funky Chicken.
Right. Great record.
Funky Chicken.
Yeah.
And then we moved from there and went to New York and turned into Willie Feaster and the Mighty Magnificents.
Oh, okay. And when you went to New York, they were all still Delaware guys?
All Delaware guys.
Wow,
Except the manager. His name was Willie Feaster. He was from Jamaica, New York.
Okay. And I guess
Who was in the bands?
yeah.
Who was in the band? It was Larry, played the sax now.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time.
Right.
All right. Larry played the sax. You had Biggie played the alto sax. Then you had Junie played the bass.
Mm-hmm.
We had about 3 or 4 drummers. And we had lead singer Skip Butler, another guy called Grayson.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And which band was this? You mentioned two bands.
This was the Soul Dynamics.
And what year was this approximately?
Oh Lord. See, it's
60s? Early 60s?
Yeah. 60.
yes.
Now,
Late 60s.
Late
late
60s.
60s.
Late
yeah.
60s.
Now, what role did Jerome Jefferson play in this whole thing?
Jerome, he was with us when we was in Dynamic Concepts. He was the manager,
Okay.
and we left. And then that's when we got in with Gene Red, the manager of the Delphonics,
Right.
and groups like that in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we cut Funky Chicken.
Okay. Did you do all that in one take, or?
No, not all in one take.
Okay. And they were all recorded in New York?
No, we recorded in Philly.
Probably, I'm going to guess, Virtue Studios.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great record. Larry has a copy of Funky Chicken, but I've looked online, and that record is worth about $400.
Well, and I don't have none. I probably got one, but I just can't.
Yeah.
I just, I kind of got upset because towards the end because we really didn't go no place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People were, maybe because I was the oldest one and I was serious about what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And was that on the charts here locally?
I don't recall that. It was. I know it made a lot of noise. It made a lot of noise normally.
Right.
You know, a lot of people.
And then we had cut one too called Stay in the Groove.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that
Oh
was?
yeah, I got that. I need a new copy of it because I
Yeah.
wore mine out.
Stay
It's on the wine label out of New York.
Yeah. And Stay in the Groove sounds so much like James Brown.
Yep, it
That,
does. It does. It's got a lot of James Brown in it.
It would start off dun 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 dun. Then I came in, brrr, I played the congas, brrr, and then it was like, yeah, all kinds of. That's what it is.
Nice.
How did the band come together originally?
Well, the band came together. I really don't know.
High school? Were you guys in high school together? Or?
Yeah, no, I wasn't in high school with them. It was just that somebody started playing in the park, and it was more or less the best musicians in Wilmington, far as R&B.
What park?
Kirkwood Street Park.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? On the west side. Just about all the parks.
Cool Spring.
Yeah, Cool Springs and all parks like that. We played it.
Mm-hmm. You played percussion.
Yeah, I'm percussions, and I sing, and I'm a comedian, and I dance.
Okay. You probably encountered Sylvester Allen.
Sylvester.
Papa
Oh,
Dave.
yeah, we used to, Sylvester D lived around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
His father owned the parking lot where Hercules is,
Right.
and he was the guy in the booth in the parking lot.
Okay.
And we used to go around there. He was like older than we were,
Right.
but he always had the model airplanes that flew by gas,
Right.
cars, and he more or less took us in.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, one day we had turned around and he had left
Right.
and went with war.
Right. Okay. Okay. And of course, before that, he was with Lem Winchester.
Yeah, probably. I didn't meet him till right after Winchester died.
Okay. And did you? I've seen advertisement where he's played in some folk clubs, like the Attic and places like that.
Oh yeah, and the Village,
Okay.
all over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he played.
Where
But
did
I
you
just-
play? Where did your band play around here? Talent shows?
Yeah, we
bars?
did. Well, myself, I started out with talent shows, singing, and we won at Wilmington High and left Wilmington High and went to Howard High. They had a club called 13. We won that talent show, and then we sang. We played in the parks, Kirkwood Street Park, and what's the place called? People's Settlement.
Okay.
You know. And then we got our pictures taken at Valley Forge with Kool and the Gang.
All right.
What were some of the other bands that played in the park?
Four Souls, and they were under the direction of Mr. Lee. And what was Butch Bell? Remember Butch Bell and them?
I remember.
Yeah,
that
well, I
name.
played with
remember
them
that.
too.
Yeah, I remember that name.
It was like five groups, but I really can't. But I know we were the best.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Well,
Did you make any money? Did they pay you?
they were the biggest. I'll say that
Yeah.
much. Because they had
Yeah.
I was in bands that would be competition for.
Yeah, and
You know, Dave Kellerman and all of us, because we were there. Yeah, we were there too. You know, because we were the guys who were using arrangements and written arrangements and all that stuff. But what I remember about the concepts was they were the biggest group. They had
Yeah.
like about 5 or 6 horns.
we had 10 people, about 10 or 13 people.
I would have loved to have arranged for that band.
Yeah, I wish you had.
So it was, I mean, from the sound, it sounds more like the later 60s kind
That's
of.
what it was.
Yeah,
it was later 60s.
Yeah, so it almost
Later
sounded
60s.
like more like a disco, not a disco, but
Oh
more
no,
like a
no,
funk.
no, that was funk music.
It was funk, and people just couldn't get enough.
R&B music had started to evolve at that point into what you call funk music, where basically instead of a bunch of chords, what you had was you just get maybe 1 or 2 chords, and it would just be a groove.
Yeah.
Well, James Brown really started all that.
Come down on the one.
Yeah, well, you could take that back to Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, which is probably the beginning of where funk music came from, and all the bands like them and us and Kool and the Gang and all of those, they all just sort of capitalized on what James Brown started.
Right.
So your record, how did that come about?
I really forgot who wrote the record. But like I was saying, like once we started to get real big, the biggest thing was management. You know, we didn't have the right management. We played in Buffalo, New York. That's during the time with the album with Ohio Players with the woman had the honey all on her. Remember that? Ohio Players?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where she had honey all on her. And we played at Itch Hills in Atlantic City for about 3 weeks. You know, but it was always something.
How did it end?
It ended with, we played 3 nights. The guy named Itch Hill
Hold on.
owned the,
Wait for the siren to go
sorry.
by. Okay, how did it end?
all right, Itch Hill owned the hotel we were staying in, motel. And the second week we came there, they had a sign on the door for sale. You know how when they go around, I forget who it was, put the sign on the door, and he lost the hotel. So we end up, well, I guess I can say it now. Only money we got out of there was in the phone booth. you know. So it was like it was always something. But in a way, we really didn't care because we was in tune and we played and people was just crazy about it.
How many years did it last?
It lasts well, just about all of us. Well, it lasts maybe 5, 6, 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And then what happened after the breakup?
Well, after the breakup, few of us went to New York. They called us up to New York. You know, and a lot of people really didn't want to leave the city. So we went up to New York, and that's when I went up to New York and stayed. And we backed up. We did a session with the Isley Brothers, and
When you say we, who is we?
Willie Feaster and the Mighty Magnificents.
Mm-hmm.
It was about the best group in New York then. You know. But we had people like Little Skippy with us, and Ajax. He passed not too long ago. He played the trumpet.
And you'd say that was the apex of your career, maybe?
Yeah. And then I went to the service, and I was in the drum and bugle corps, and ended up doing the rest of my time, 287 Army National Guard Band. I played the drums, cymbals.
Where did you serve?
Germany.
In Germany,
Yeah,
okay.
because
What year was that?
There you go. What year was that?
Before, during, or after the Vietnam War?
During the Vietnam War.
So somewhere in
Yeah, during
late
the Vietnam
60s, early 70s.
Because when I was drafted, I didn't have to go to Vietnam because I was the only son. And if I got killed, then I couldn't carry the name. So they sent me.
Wait, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a thing?
Yeah, we had I had to go up there. And they said, well, you don't have to go. You're the only son because if you die, then you don't have your father die, and you can't carry the banger's name. So they said, but you're going someplace. They sent me to Germany.
Oh, so you could be drafted, but they wouldn't send you into combat as well.
No. So I was over in Germany, and my friends was in Vietnam.
Okay. And then after that?
After that, came back home, and still played some more. And I started singing and doing. I'm a comedian. Then I began to sing in church, and then I ended up at General Motors, and now I work 1 day a week.
How long did you work at General Motors?
9 years. That's when they was making the Chevettes, and you could take one home on a weekend,
Nice.
but you had to have it back Monday.
Really?
Yeah. So I went to Atlantic City, and I just about made it. As far as bringing it back Monday.
Are
Did you make the trip with the group when they went to California?
No, I didn't make that one. But they did go to California. I didn't make that trip.
Are any of the Dynamic Concepts still around?
Yeah, she got Junie.
Okay, in town here?
Last names. Junior's last name, do you remember it?
Junie, I can't think of his last name. Junie, he played the bass. He worked for the city. Then you have Sonny. See, we didn't even care
It's all right,
about
that's fine.
the last names.
Yeah.
James Johnson, Sonny
James
Sonny Johnson,
Skippy, little Skip Borley.
whom I just saw yesterday.
Yeah, he's
I
singing.
was just talking with him yesterday.
Yeah, and
He's still singing.
Yeah, he's still singing. And then somebody done turned into a preacher. Somebody's this, somebody's that. Stop. Just like I told him, if you didn't go to school for music, it's a gift, and you can entertain people, and you're well known. So I said, you just got to keep on until you can't do it no more. So, Buster sang with the Dynamic Concepts, and he had made Lonely Weekend.
Buster Davis.
So I didn't see, I
Buster Davis.
see him at the VA. He said, I don't sing no more, and I can't understand that.
I think he's in Philadelphia.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stopped singing, but Skip Borley, he's trying to. He should leave here.
Tell us about your comedy career.
Well, my comedy career started off in Germany. When I was over in Germany, and I played at a club named Hanks. I was a drummer, and it was more or less all of a sudden things start coming up my mouth. And
The devil made
yeah,
you do it.
you know what I'm saying? But it was good things.
So while the band was playing, you were
Yeah,
kind of
then
in between.
then when we took a break, you know, everybody, all my life. Well, actually, I started in the second grade.
You have a manager?
Yeah, no, I ain't had no man, but I started. But you know, well, I know, I really don't care now. But I started in the second grade, and the whole second grade, all it did was made the children laugh. So I forgot about the homework, reading, and all that. So all of a sudden, back then, when you changed to another grade, you just went to another room. So I moved to the third grade, and I felt somebody pulling on my collar like this and said, "No, you got to go back now." Mind me now, second grade, it was my mom. You know. But the teacher, she laughed. So she forgot all about teaching me. You know what I
She
mean?
must have been pretty funny.
Yeah, she forgot about teaching me, you know. So I didn't, if it wasn't for my mom, you know, my mom says, "You got to go back." So I went back to third grade. And that's how it started. And then I had so much rhythm. The janitor at the Stubb School, I used to be on the desk, and he gave me drumsticks. You know, and then I went from playing in election bands on the back of a truck. And we knew about...
I'm sorry, election bands?
Yeah, election. You know, like somebody running.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the election.
And they bring musicians with
Yeah,
them.
so we was in the back of a pickup truck.
Interesting.
And we only had but one. We only played one song, and that was "When the Saints." And we played that.
Marching in.
Yeah. We played that for about 2 years, and the Saints. So we made money for that. I just kept on, you know. I was just, you know, just like him. He was born to be a musician.
So did you play comedy clubs?
No, I never played a comedy club. Only time I played a comedy club was, it wasn't a comedy club, but when we went to the Cheetah. They had a big club in New York called the Cheetah.
Yeah, I remember.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
we played in there so many.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Larry
many-
talked about
Yeah, well, he got
Yeah,
and
and I
Skip,
played
Skip
in
talked
there.
about it too.
So when we used to go from songs to songs, you know, just things came out, even with the way I danced. And then I used to have like 7 kunas at one time playing. And everybody, you know.
There wouldn't happen to be any videotape of your
No, I wish
playing
it
ever?
was. Somebody probably did. We didn't even think about it. All we thought about was playing, and the people. I mean, that place was filled every time we played.
How about audio recordings, cassettes, anything like that?
A what?
Cassette, you know, like
No, we probably
recordings at
got
all?
on. No, maybe Skippy might have it. Skip Borley. But see, we wasn't even thinking about that. I know people probably was making money off us, you know, way back then, but we didn't know it. It was, you know.
You might have had a demo tape or something.
Yeah,
of you.
we had demo, and then Jerome Jefferson. He might have something.
Do you have any, like, photos, publicity photos or anything?
No.
Well,
Skip-
there's one of the dynamic concepts that.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
the one at not Rodney Square. What you call that? I said we played up.
The park? You're talking about the park?
No, the one outside with the Cool and the Gang, Valley Forge.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then we took our pictures in Philly too. I forget what photo company was, but they was real good. You know, everybody, all the stars. You know, the Delphonics, OJ's, all of them had the same photographer.
But you basically, I mean, you weren't a professional musician in the sense that that wasn't your main gig. You worked at GM. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I had to get a job.
Okay.
You know, because there wasn't nobody playing, and then there was a lot of foolishness. You know, wasn't nobody really serious. And we had another guy named Donnie was a manager. He passed, and he wanted to get a reunion, but it never, you know, it never turned over.
Regrets?
Huh?
Regrets?
Right.
Tell me about your regrets. You could do it again.
Yeah, I could.
If you could do it again, what would you do different?
Well, if I could do it again, I would have a nice manager, for one thing. And we never signed the contract. So that's probably why we didn't get paid. You know what I'm saying? And then we didn't have a family, and you know, it was more or less, you know, everybody knew we was so good. You just go ahead. You know, don't get hurt. Go ahead. You know, it was a ups and downs. Eating sardines, peanut butter, and jelly. Then it went to Ohio, dancing on
The bar.
the bar, like 12 of us. You know, and I end up from one end of the bar to the other dancing without falling off or knocking one of the musicians off. You know, and it just happened. But one thing, I never practiced. It just, whatever I did was like
Spontaneous.
spontaneous. Every time I went on the stage, it just happened, you know. And then I found out that I didn't have to smoke weed or drink a beer to perform. You know, I thought I did, you know. But when I was drank and stuff, I was like a machine. And I can remember playing in New York. And it seemed like my arms here had left. And I was like this. And they was... And then all of a sudden I said, and brought them back. It was an experience. It was, you know. So that's why now I still dance. I still sing. You know.
Where?
At church.
Oh, church.
Yeah, at church. And then when I go out, I do, all right, another thing with the comedian thing, over Germany, I got a thing before Tyler Perry, dressing up like a woman,
Huh?
you know. So I do that. But now I'm called Sister Cupcake.
Oh my God.
You know, I done played at the Delaware Theater here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was. The only thing I don't like about it is cutting your beard and your mustache off. You know, it's a mess.
So you played at Delaware Theater. How'd that happen?
That was with I can't think of the guy. The guy's father plays the trumpet, and a lot of times he had what's his name, Bill Cosby, with him. I can't think of his name, but they had like 3 shows down at the Delaware Theater. And I was in like 2 of them.
Nice.
Cool.
Did you ever do any acting with Maurice Sims?
No, but we're real good friends.
Good. Hey, same here. I've known
Yeah,
Maurice
he's
for-
all right, you know.
Right.
And I see his brother when I go to Gilpin Hall,
His older brother.
Mr. Sims, that used to live around the corner. He's in Gilpin Hall.
Okay.
Then I used to hang around with Maurice's son,
Maurice Jr.?
Junior.
Yeah.
I used to hang around with him. All in past.
Yeah, I know Maurice Jr.
Yeah, I'm the only one here.
All right, I don't know. Anything else?
All
You
right.
wanna?
So do I get paid for this?
Should have a manager.
We don't either. If there's any consolation.
But what we will do
Thank you, though. I really
is
appreciate
is
it.
we're going to put this on the internet. We'll make sure you have a link. It'll be like on YouTube, so
Oh,
you
all right.
can just share this. It'll be on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame